Today, we are going to discuss the best players to claim or buy from the Ragnarok After Daybreak event in week 6 after discussing the previous players in the earlier videos. We'll also discuss comparatively the best options from both events to help you decide which ones are worth going for from both the events combined. So watch the entire video till the end to get the best idea on who to claim. You'll find out which players are worth your shards or coins, who you should keep if you're lucky enough to pack them, and which ones to avoid at all costs. Let's straight away get into the video. The first player that we are going to discuss is Zidane at 1500 shards. Very good dribbling, passing, pace and shooting along with a 5-star weak foot for a centre mid. Has a good physique with a 6 feet 1 inch height, a 4.5-star stamina which can be maxed using the skill points on physical and box to box. He plays equally well on the alternate cam position, having a rare 5-star skill move which enables you to do elastic work. He has all the best possible traits with the high attack and a medium defense work rate, which works well for a centre mid in game. But he is more on the attacking side but does quite well in winning the ball back, maintaining a good position in game. He also has great shot and long passing in game, with really good ball control. He would definitely be in the buy tier list higher up the order. His cards perform well for a really long time in general. So if you're looking for a CM at this budget, he is the one to go for across all events at the moment. The next player is Company at 1250 shards. Good in defense with physicality, but feels on the slower side in game compared to the other cards at this shard cost. He too has the boosted skill points. He does have the dive into tackle trait, but lacks the power header trait, which affects his heading at times, having a high defense and a medium attack work rate. In my opinion, there are better options like Ferdinand in this event. He will be in the keep tier list higher up the order. If you pack him, you definitely keep him. But there are better options across both the events, which we will discuss later in the video. Don't forget to like the video. Subscribe if you're interested in more FC Mobile related content.
Yeah, boy.
The next player is Fernando Torres at 1500 shards. Outstanding pace in game, which is enhanced by step overs, along with good shooting and dribbling, having a 4.5-star stamina, a 4-star skill move and a 4-star weak foot, which will be prominent moving forward. Excellent traits with high attack and medium defense work rate. His finishing is top-notch in game, with great agility and ball control. He would definitely be in the buy tier list higher up the order. The next player is Maicon at 1500 shards. Really amazing pace in game and does a good job in defending, with 4.5-star stamina, 4-star skill move and a 4-star weak foot, which is really helpful in attacking positions, having an alternate RM position. He has a high attack and a high defense work rate, with good awareness, but when compared to Carlos, his marking and tackling are not as good. He would be in the buy tier list, but lower down the order due to his high shard cost and his position. Next is Rafaeleo at 1250 shards. The quickest card in game right now, with really good dribbling. His 6'2" height along with physicality helps him to retain the ball, but his stamina is on the lower side and would require a substitution with a 4-star skill move, having a medium attack and a low defense work rate, which most of his cards have and is not an issue in game. He also has finesse and flair traits, which is quite useful in game. Excellent sprint speed along with acceleration. He would definitely be in the buy tier list higher up the order, but one thing to consider about him is he is a 110 OVR and would restrict your alternate reach max OVR in many situations. Next card is Gravenberg at 800 shards. He has decent stats throughout and does the job in game, but there is nothing extraordinary in terms of defense or offense in my opinion. If you pack him and need a centre mid, you can consider to keep him. Next player is Hincapié at 800 shards. Very good in defending with high physicality, a 4.5-star stamina, 3-star skill move and 3-star weak foot, which isn't ideal. but a high defensive work rate and a medium attack work rate, due to which his positioning is quite good in game and wins the ball back quite comfortably. He is one of the best defensive left back in Ragnarok event, in my opinion. But there are better players in other positions that you can use your shards on, and he does cost 800 shards. He will be in the keep tier list before Capdivia. If you pack him and need a left back, you can definitely consider to keep him, depending upon your squad and the level at which you are in the game. The next player is Sherky at 800 shards. The best cam in this budget, with amazing dribbling, pace and shooting in game, along with the 5-star weak foot. A 5-star skill move is really good, but his stamina and physical is on the lower side. Having a high attack and a low defense work rate for a cam position works really well in game. He also has good traits. He would be in the buy tier list, but considering his OVR and the position, he would be lower down the order. We'll quickly run through the next players. Colville at 300 shards. He's quite playable, but a lower OVR, and there are much better options available. He would be in the avoid tier list after the winters, who I think is a better option to claim. Next is Kamara at 300 shards. He should definitely be avoided and would be lower down the order. Next player is Crouch at 300 shards, which should be avoided along with cross spamming. Next player is Rogers at 300 shards. This card is playable, but a 3-star skill move and a 4-star stamina, a 109, which would be avoid for most unless you are relatively new to the game. Next is Beereth at 300 shards. He too would be in the avoid tier list. Next is Stell at 300 shards. Good pace and shooting with decent dribbling and physical. 4.5-star stamina, 4-star skill move and a 4-star weak foot. He's the best option at this budget. If you're new to the game, definitely keep him if 108 OVR suits your squad. But for most, considering the stage in the game, he would be an avoid, but higher up the order. Next player is Rodrigo Gomez at 200 shards. He should definitely be avoided. Next is Bichiabo at 300 shards. He is quite playable with a 6 feet 5 inch height, but as a 108, he would be in the avoid tier list for most of the players at this stage in the game. The final player is Pisili at 200 shards. He too would be in the avoid tier list lower down the order. This is how the tier list looks like after adding week 3 players of After Daybreak event. Consider claiming the top tier players and then move lower down the order as per your shard count and the stage at which you are in the game. Now, let's look at the complete tier list of the Ragnarok event, as per my opinion and experience in game. As requested by you guys, let's summarize these players at different shard costs across events. The 3 categories would be 1250 to 1500 shards, 800 to 1000 shards, and less than 650 shards. First is the left wing position. As discussed earlier, in my opinion, Nico Williams is the better option. The other option is Mane in 650 or lower shards. For strikers, Ginola is the better option compared to Torres, having the 5-star weak foot, 5-star skill move and the additional physicality, which does make a difference in my opinion. In the 800 to 1000 shard category, I wouldn't suggest any striker, but y'all can consider Papin from the grassroots event or get Owen in the 650 or less category. For right wingers, there aren't any options at the higher shard cost. Y'all can get Olise from the grassroots event, which would be a much better option. Between Saka and Cha, it's very close. Cha is the better option now because he's performing exceptionally right now, but his preferred foot would be right. That is something to consider, but y'all can go for him if y'all have the resources, otherwise go for Saka. In the 650 or less category, y'all can go for Pedro. Coming to the centre mid, Zidane would be above all the other options. In the 800 to 1000 category, y'all can go for Schweinsteiger for a balanced centre mid. Y'all can play him on right centre mid or left centre mid position. Or if y'all are looking for a defensive one, y'all can go for Fellaini, who y'all should play on the left centre mid. Lampard is a cheaper, less defensive sentiment in the 650 category. The cam position, my preference would be Charlton in above 1250 category, Cherky in the 800 to 1000 category, and if you want to look at lower than that, you can look for Pele for performance or Roger for higher OVR. For CDM, Silva is a better option in terms of performance. If y'all have the resources, definitely go for him above Tory and Caicedo in that order. And for a lower budget, y'all can look at Mascherano. For centre back, Blon would be my preferred choice between both the events. Then y'all can look at Fernandes and company. In the 800 to 1000 category, y'all can look at Huijsen, or y'all can directly go for King and save 150 shards, whose performance is quite good in the game. For right back, Carlos is much better in defending with better physicality than Maicon in my opinion. If y'all can't get him and need a right back, Trippier is the only good choice in the third category. At left back, I prefer Marcelo if y'all have a choice at the grassroots event. If not, you don't have much choice other than Capdevila, but I would prefer Hincapié over him in the 800 to 1000 category. Mendy from the grassroots event is also a good option, but expensive in my opinion. For a lower shard cost, y'all can look at Hall in terms of performance or Lizarazu or OVR. For the goalkeeper position, y'all could go for Czech over Yashin. If you don't even have a 107, then Chesney can be looked at, or utilize those shards elsewhere. Other than this, most of the players you can directly compare as it's placed in descending order from left to right. Let me know your thoughts on who y'all are planning to claim or have already claimed. Watch the other parts of the video here. If you enjoyed the content, make sure to drop a like. Subscribe if you're interested in FC Mobile content.